Hey, how you doing? Justin here, back with you for another installment of the Major Scale Maestro. In this lesson we're going to be checking out how to play pattern 3 of the major scale. It's one of my personal favorites. There's not lots of tasty little licks and phrases that kind of live inside of it, which I'm sure you're going to enjoy discovering. I'm going to take you through how to play the scale, but I'm kind of hoping by this point that you're familiar with the drill now, that we're going to take it just a little bit at a time, real nice and slowly, making sure we don't make any mistakes at all, just ascending the scale first of all, getting to grips with that, then ascending, descending as low as you can, back to the root note, all of that sort of stuff that we've talked about before. But let's do it in a close-up, make sure that you're getting it on the right track. So pattern 3 starts with the little finger on the root note. Now we're playing G, so this is the note here, G, 10th fret on the 5th string, that's the G. Now, as before, it's really important that we just learn it one step at a time. So the 4th string, 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. Spend a little bit of time just doing that, making sure you got that memorized first of all. Then when you're ready, you move on to the next string, 1st finger, 3rd finger. Don't rush it, make sure you've got this committed to memory. Start by reading the pattern and start by doing it as slow as you need to make sure that you 100% get it right. When you hit with that, the thinnest 2 strings both have the same finger pattern, which is 1, 2, 4 and 1, 2, 4. Join it on. Play it through a few times, make sure that you're super duper hip with that part of the pattern. 4th finger, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. When you're really hip with that, then you can start coming back down again. If you need to reference the diagram, that's totally fine. Just make sure you get it right, don't make any mistakes. Then just playing it up and down from there. Probably not this fast straight away. When you hit with that, then you're going all of the way down now, so realizing that these 2 strings have got the same pattern as well. Outside string, always going to have the same pattern on the thickest and the thinnest strings. So 2nd finger, 1st finger, back up. So then, going through the whole thing. Slowly as you need to make sure that you get it 100% right. You don't want any mistakes at all. Okay, always starting and ending on that lowest root note. For now, we're going to talk about a way of twisting that in the very next lesson. But for now, learning it, starting and ending on the lowest root note, you go up as high as you can, down as low as you can, and back to that root note. When you're learning a new scale pattern, I'd recommend that you stick with all down picks, but as soon as you can play it at a consistent and even tempo and you've memorized the scale, move into alternate picking. So again, you would start with a down pick, down, up, 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 down. Definitely don't be afraid to say the down and ups as you do it. It'll really help you notice if you make a mistake. It's one of those little things where if you say the wrong thing while you're doing it something different, you're much more likely to notice. Sometimes, well, very often I've seen students thinking they're alternate picking, but actually they're not. So don't be afraid of saying it out loud if it's going to help. Once you've memorized the scale and you're playing it confidently and evenly straight up and down, I'd recommend that you jump straight into playing the major scale in thirds. It's a relatively simple pattern for playing thirds. There's nothing really awkward with the fingering or anything like that. I'm just going to play it for you now very slowly, but remember it is that same thing that we've done before. You play a note, miss a note, play the next note and go back to the one you missed and repeat that all of the way up and all of the way down. So I'm going to be starting on the lowest root note there with a little finger. I'm going to be moving my fingers a little bit more than you probably would want to normally, just to make sure it's clear what notes I'm playing. But when you play it for real, you obviously want to keep finger movements to a minimum. So this is what it looks like. Remember, there's a tab available over on the website if you think that might help. So remember, don't be in a hurry when you're doing your scale pattern practice. Much better to play it slowly and get it 100% correct all the time. Don't let any bugs into the system. Always focus on getting things right over speed. Speed will come with time if you get things done right. Now, if you want to practice this on your own, if you're not doing my course, again, little 5-minute sessions, practicing the scale nice and slowly, accurately, working with a metronome once you can play it evenly, developing the speed and accuracy as you go along with that. If you're doing my Major Scale Maestro course, stay tuned for the next lesson where we're going to talk a little bit more about framework development, which is super interesting, and give you all of the stuff that you need for your practice routine, including pattern 3 and how to utilize it. So hopefully I'll see you for that very soon. Bye.